Manfredi might be bulletproof, Margaret. We are not.
My father says something. There's something about hurting people close to Manfredi.
Episode 7 left Dwight Manfredi standing at the edge of something he doesn't fully understand, and that is exactly where Taylor Sheridan likes his characters. What started as a crime drama about rebuilding power in a strange new city has slowly become a story about reckoning. By the end of episode 7, it was no longer about turf wars or cash flow, it was about identity. Dwight has spent the better part of season 3 trying to fuse two worlds, his old-school mob-coded New York instincts and his self-made Tulsa operation. But as episode 7 showed, those worlds cannot coexist forever. The uneasy peace he forged with the Renzetti family is eroding, the feds are circling, and the people he trusts most, Mitch, Bodie, and even his daughter Tina, are starting to look at him like a man who is out of time. If episode 8 follows the path episode 7 set in motion, it will not open with action. It will open with fallout, the kind that does not make noise but leaves echoes in every corner of Dwight's world. Sheridan's stories thrive in that silence, in the space between a man's decisions and the moment he finally pays for them. Episode 8 could very well be that moment.
Now let's see if he needs to see you.
Hey, Donnie. Bigfoot, it's okay. Come on, Donnie.
The pressure mounts. In episode 7, Dwight made one of his riskiest moves yet by striking a deal with people he cannot truly trust, betting that he can outsmart everyone by staying one step ahead. But episode 8 might show that for the first time, he is not leading the game, he is chasing it. The distillery, once a symbol of Dwight's rebirth, may now turn into a liability. Numbers are not adding up, money is disappearing through side channels, and what once looked like clever business strategy might actually be sabotage. Bodie, ever the numbers man, could start asking the wrong questions, and curiosity in this world is dangerous.
Hey, you know, you might want to quit while you're ahead.
We're playing with the houses.
Mitch, usually the quiet voice of reason, may begin to pull away. His calm demeanor in episode 7 already hinted at unease. The way he hesitated before taking Dwight's calls, and the way his eyes lingered when someone mentioned federal attention. Episode 8 could push him further into conflict. Loyalty used to come easy, but now it feels heavy, almost like guilt. Meanwhile, Dwight will likely keep pretending that he has control. He will pour drinks, tell jokes, and give orders as if nothing is wrong. But that is the beauty of Sheridan's character writing. The more confident Dwight acts, the more afraid he truly is. By the middle of the episode, the cracks will show. The laughter at the bar will sound forced. The family dinners will feel like interrogations. Episode 8 will not be about the explosion, but about the pressure that builds before it, the kind of suffocating quiet where every word feels dangerous and every glance might be a betrayal.
A plate of spare ribs for the ride home. House specialty.
You got a sense of humor.
Marcus Kane makes his move. The mystery introduced in episode 7, Marcus Kane, portrayed by Samuel L. Jackson, may finally come into focus here. We still do not know what Kane truly wants, but his quiet entry into the Tulsa scene suggests that he is not just another mob rival, he is something colder and more deliberate, the kind of man who wins by letting others destroy themselves.
Think it's a good idea to stiff one of your winners in front of all these other potential winners? Not too smart, huh? What do you think?
If Sheridan follows his usual rhythm, episode 8 might give us the first real conversation between Dwight and Kane. It will not be a shootout or a standoff, but a duel of words. Kane could test Dwight's limits without ever seeming to threaten him. A discussion about order or respect could spiral into something deeper and more psychological. Picture Kane calmly telling Dwight that power does not belong to the man holding the gun, but to the one holding the truth. It sounds harmless at first, until it becomes clear that Kane already knows something Dwight does not. Maybe it is about his crew. Maybe about a deal gone wrong. Maybe it involves Tina. Sheridan loves moments when pride collapses into vulnerability, and episode 8 could give us exactly that. Kane will not need to be loud. He can dismantle Dwight with silence. A raised eyebrow, a half smile, a single line that lands like a knife. By the end of their exchange, Dwight might believe he won the argument, but the audience will know that Kane just took the first piece off the board.
The danger, it's intoxicating.
Yes, for sure.
That little feeling in the pit of your stomach where shit's about to hit the fan.
Yes.
Cracks in the circle. While Dwight faces Kane, the people closest to him may start to drift away. Episode 7 already hinted that Mitch is hiding something. Maybe he is talking to law enforcement, or maybe he is simply trying to protect himself. Either way, Episode 8 could force him to make a painful choice between his conscience and his loyalty.
Are you from the government?
I just knocked your guard out cold, and you think I'm a CPA?
Bodhi, on the other hand, might be the wild card. He has always been the quiet strategist, but his nervous behavior in Episode 7 suggested that he feels trapped. With the feds monitoring his finances and the Renzettis applying pressure, he might make a decision that ensures his survival but destroys Dwight's empire. And then there is Tina. Her relationship with her father was strained by the end of Episode 7. Distant but polite, she no longer trusts him. Kane might exploit that distance in Episode 8 by approaching her with calculated charm. He could present himself as someone who understands her frustration, someone who listens. Sheridan could twist the emotional knife by making Tina the heart of the next betrayal, not because she wants to hurt her father, but because she thinks she is protecting herself. Every thread in Dwight's life is fraying, not through violence, but through slow erosion. The people who once stood by him might not even realize they have started to walk away.
Just wanted to talk. Look, Tina, I know you hate me, okay?
I don't hate you, Dwight. Feel bad for you.
Tina, on the other hand, becomes a pawn in a game she doesn't even know she's part of. Kane's influence stretches farther than anyone realizes, and through subtle manipulation, he begins to exploit the tension between father and daughter. A single conversation between Tina and one of Kane's advisors sets up what could be the most devastating twist of the season. Dwight's greatest weakness isn't his enemies, it's his love for his family.
Get you guys anything?
You got a chair?
Traditional chairs are terrible for your back.
I'll stand.
And then there's Bodhi. The man who once played strategist now finds himself cornered. The feds are watching his accounts, the Renzettis are watching his back, and Dwight's watching his loyalty. By the midpoint of Episode 8, Bodhi's storyline becomes a powder keg. He's too smart to stay quiet, but too scared to speak. Sheridan paints him as the man standing on the edge of betrayal, weighing survival against conscience, knowing that either choice could get him killed. The feds close in. Every Sheridan story reaches a point where the tension finally snaps. If Episode 7 hinted that investigators were closing in, Episode 8 might deliver the payoff. A federal raid on one of Dwight's warehouses seems inevitable. It would serve not only as the external threat, but also as the match that ignites every hidden fear within his circle. Someone had to have tipped them off. But who? Mitch might look guilty, Bodhi might look terrified, Tina might look strangely calm, and Dwight, for once, might not even look angry, just tired. Deep down, he probably knew this was coming. The raid would mark a turning point, not because of what is lost, but because of what is revealed. It would expose the fragility of Dwight's empire, the false loyalty of his allies, and the precision of Kane's manipulation. Kane might not even appear in this episode, but his influence will be felt in every consequence. Dwight's breaking point. By the final act, Dwight's mask starts to slip. He's drinking alone again, something we haven't seen since Season 1. His hands shake, not from age, but from rage. The man who once built his empire through control is now ruled by chaos. Sheridan doesn't give him a big outburst. Instead, he gives him quiet collapse. Dwight confronts Mitch, then Tina, then himself in the mirror. And for a brief moment, the gangster disappears, and we see the man underneath, the one who's tired of being everyone's savior. But the real gut punch comes at the end. Dwight receives a package, inside a single chess piece, the king, snapped clean in half. No note, no threat, just the symbol of a fallen ruler. And though no one says it out loud, everyone watching knows Kane sent it. That small gesture turns Episode 8 into something poetic. Sheridan has always loved symbols, cattle brands, whiskey bottles, poker chips, but this one hits differently. The Broken King isn't just about Dwight's empire falling apart, it's about the man himself finally realizing that power doesn't make him untouchable, it makes him vulnerable.
Big fight.
The bigger picture, Episode 7 set up the question, and Episode 8 could begin to answer it. What happens when a man who has built his life on control finally loses it? If Sheridan's pacing continues, Episode 8 will not end in violence, but in realization. The real battle is not between gangs or families. It is between Dwight and the truth about himself.
What's happening?
Using a watch shop to clean your money. Going to estate sales, an auction, paying in cash, or high-end clients, getting wire transfers.
Kane's role is not just that of a villain, he is the mirror, the reflection of every compromise and every lie Dwight told himself about redemption. His presence forces Dwight to face the truth. He never escaped New York. He only built a smaller, sunnier version of it. Episode 8 could end quietly. No shootout, no explosion. Just Dwight sitting alone as the city lights flicker through the window and a distant storm hums in the background. Because the real storm is not coming to Tulsa. It is already inside it.
You drive a hard bargain?
But fair.
Deal.
Episode 8 feels like the quiet before the reckoning. Everything that unraveled in Episode 7, the lies, the mistrust, the uneasy alliances, now hangs over Dwight like a storm cloud ready to burst. He's still standing, but the ground beneath him is starting to give way. Taylor Sheridan's world has never been about triumph. It's about consequence. Dwight Manfredi is learning that survival isn't strength. It's a slow kind of punishment. The feds are closing in, his crew is splintering, and Marcus Kane's presence looms like a silent reminder that every king eventually faces his fall.